Oh, how you guys doing?
We're doing well, thank
Good,
you.
Excellent.
good to see you. So, my first question is going to be to start off by asking you your names, where you're from, and what your profession is.
Okay. Uh, you want to start?
Sure. My name is Nicola Williams. I am from Leonardtown, Maryland, and I'm a retired elementary school teacher and children's author.
Okay,
And my name is Quincy Williams, and I currently am a resident of Leonardtown, Maryland, originally from a little place called Laurel Hill, North Carolina.
okay,
My profession is I'm a mortgage loan manager for a credit union, local credit union.
okay. So, from what I'm being told, this is not your first year here. So, tell me a little bit about how you became familiar with the Moral Literacy Mission, and I'd like to hear a lot about that.
Well, I'll have to say that I found Amaro through Nicola, who was, doing some research, and I'll let her tell it from there. So,
Well, just one random night, I popped on Facebook into an author group and I saw Jessica's advertisement and it said something like wanted authors to come to South Africa. And that was actually our 30th year anniversary.
Oh,
mhm.
wow.
And we had
Okay.
planned, I wanted to go to Reykjavik, Iceland.
Mm.
And we had started talking about that. And then Jessica's, post popped up. And I was like, would you maybe want to go to South Africa instead? And he was like, oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So
Really.
we
The
immediately
motherland.
changed our mind. I don't know what it was. And, we had to do our, interview with her. And it was a almost instant like click. And I was like, this is what we need to do for our 30th year. And so now we have been three
3 years
times.
now.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
so.
awesome. Thank you for that. What is something that you've learned from the people that you're serving?
Well, I would say that they treat you as you are one of them, and they are so grateful. So it reminds me of always being thankful for whatever it is that you come across. So that's what it kind of I come away with everything.
Okay. How do you see the teamwork playing a role in the mission's success?
Oh my goodness. Well, from the very start, Jessica treats us like a team. We are having our meetings once a month so that we can get to know each other and build like those relationships even before we get here. So, I felt like, I was getting to know those people through those Zoom calls and
Hmm.
all of that. And when you get here, oftentimes you see, your old friends, but then you are making new friends too. And it just always clicks. It doesn't matter
It's
how
always the
many
right
people are
people.
here,
Yeah.
it's just always the perfect fit.
Hmm. Okay, so over the 3 years that you've been doing this, what would you say has been your best experience thus far?
Mm. You want to start with that one?
Well,
Well,
being a teacher, my favorite times are have all well, I have two favorite, but being a teacher, just going into the classroom and getting to read to the students and, looking at the blackboard, they're still, they're using chalk and that's my first writing tool on the board when started as a teacher and just, seeing the things that they're learning, you know, watching them get excited about school, no matter what their clothes look like, they're still showing up every day. And then last year, I think my most proud moment was helping to design that learning lab
Oh,
and
absolutely.
decorate that. So I think
That was so wonderful, and
that was a
it's
highlight
good
too.
to see that they're still using it
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
really
and,
getting a
and I
lot
would say
from it.
my one of my fondest memories was the first year was those kids were there were boxes of books. I mean, like little
Bins.
bins of books. They were so excited. They were grabbing the bins, going in over in a corner, just going through, and they're just so excited. to have
Mhm.
access to those books.
Yes, definitely.
That was really touching for me. And like you mentioned, the Learning Lab, to see how they have really taken care of that, and I would hope them to continue to use it, in ways to touch the kids and use it for the kids.
Definitely. So, Nicola, we didn't touch on this, but you're an author, and I enjoyed hearing you read your book to the students. Tell us a little bit about your book.
Well, that particular book I read this time is called Bugsy and the Bees, and it's actually based on our grandson. And we are
Sage.
both, and our grandson Sage, we are both beekeepers. So it's a story about Sage wanting to be a beekeeper, but he didn't have a beekeeping suit. And so it was fun to tell the kids that we were beekeepers and to look at the shocked looks on their faces like, what do you mean, and so that was fun to share that story too.
Well, thank you. We really do appreciate the work that you're doing here in South Africa, and please enjoy the rest of your stay. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
Thank
so
so
you.
much.
much.